Alex Answer here, coming to you on the evening of October 24th, 2017. Hope you're all doing well. We're going to be just talking about a number of different things. No, we don't have a live stream, but always open to your comments. There were some decent comments that I noticed in some of the recent videos. I do think there is a resurgence in spirituality, and it is expressing itself in different ways. There is a thirst for knowledge. Okay, it's like I'm looking around for a book. It's time to start reading random pages. But seriously, and so I'm going to speak to that. So you put out the intention that you're seeking the truth. Remove those barriers. Yes, I'm looking for the truth, but no. Are you looking for the truth? Or are you looking to be told what you want to hear? See, that's the question. That's the question. Some people, you look at these mega churches, you look at some of these YouTube personalities, right, that have been blessed, very much so, in the material plane. Money's not the problem. And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with doing really, really well. There's just a lot of people across the planet um, that use, right, a lot of religious memes and institutions just simply to, pull in energy, pull in money. And then, of course, there's the propaganda element. This is ungodly. Oh, this is godly. This is divine. Yeah, let's just paint the halo around the president. Wasn't right when they did it with Bush. Wasn't right when they did it with Obama. And it still isn't right when they do it with Trump. There is no political messiah. So it's totally natural and normal for people when they find themselves thrown against the wall to seek things of a spiritual nature. If they find themselves afraid, right? People need to understand. I do believe that there is truth and power to that, that people need to seek in the Lord, if you will. Now, there's a lot of people that have some very touchy issues because they were forced into church-like environments. So, like the idea of Lord or a creator is very hard for them to hear. I've come across, and you guys all know that I escaped the very dominant liberal left city. Nothing wrong with some liberal values. It just some of it was a little more so than what you guys are. Not so much you, but others. The political labeling left right doesn't really articulate society. So Portland was like a fallen zombie wasteland of more specific sorts. A lot of Satanism, a lot of pentagram stuff going on. So a guy like me emanating whatever light I'm emanating, I do believe we all emanate a certain level of light, that can bring us under attack. Summarizing my whole experience, I went on Access TV and started challenging major belief systems. Okay, no, I didn't do 2020 level reporting, but I had hundreds, right? Hundreds of guests on my show when it wasn't popular, when it wasn't cool yet, when it was still very scary and risky in the post 9/11 age. People freaking out about the terror watch list. I cut my teeth, if you will, in the literally an organic alternative media grassroots. And it's not so much of working my way up somewhere in a hierarchy, but a way of life as a spiritual practice. And I'm telling you, you do come under attack from forces when you're out there trying to wake people up because they see it as their food. And that's been the theme, right, of a lot of things and challenges that I faced. And it's the idea of threatening their food source when we work to wake people up from being in a trance or being in a uncontrolled state of fear. I get sometimes people's emails, not a lot lately, and I'm glad that a lot of you, you understand, you appreciate. I can't get back to a lot of emails that come in sometimes when there's a lot at once. There's also a lot of emails that for whatever reason I don't get. I just want to throw that out as well. So there are some people that have said they've contacted me. I wasn't even planning to bring this up. I've dealt with issues like emails being deleted. I don't know why. I don't know how long this has been going on. I started to suspect it back in Portland 5 years ago. People are like, Alex, I contacted you. You never come. I'm like, well, I don't remember you. I don't remember the email. So yeah, I just want to throw that out. So people are seeking. And as they say, seek and ye shall find. So some of the activities in my own seeking, there could be like a series of words that comes to you. If you're anything like me, you may wake up between the 2 o'clock and 5 o'clock range with Like I'm not riding yet at that hour, but being off grid, being that it gets darker earlier, getting about 8 hours sleep, maybe go to sleep 6, 7, sometimes 5, maybe a little later, but waking up between that 2 and 5 range seems to be on average. And that seems to be like in that space, the witching hour, if you will. It's also during that period in which we come under a psychic attack. It's also that period in which people troll more and do weird stuff online. You can literally run stats. You can find them like in the middle of the night. I'm not saying they don't do it during the day, but, and I've also noticed the full moon correlation with certain spaz attacks. Full moon correlation, of course, internet addiction, um, and other things. So, on that note, there are people that are going in different directions. Some people are exploring their spiritual side, some people are falling apart. It could be caused by a fear from things going on in their environment. Of course, we have internet mind control, suggestion, influence. Some people that haven't done a lot of world travel or had experience around the world are literally living in these modern urban slums throughout America. And because of their environment, it's becoming part of their psyche and how they're seeing the larger world without realizing some of the more systemic reasons why we're in the economic mess that we're in. You see, there are specific ways, right? And those things haven't ended with the current presidency and the amount of money that's being spent on these wars. Okay, that's not going to help things. Nor there are some people that believe this. The idea of if we go to World War III, that it's a reset, almost a necessary evil. And I've heard this multiple times from certain individuals. Heck, I've even heard people say, "Bring on World War III. I'm tired of people here and bad. Bring it out. No, no. Stop saying that. No, no, don't. We don't want to bring it on. No, no, no. We don't need to hear people say, "Well, if you're not on the list, you're not doing a good job." Do you know how many years I've heard people like that? Adam Kokesh lackeys. I just chuckle. The actual idea of someone asking me, "What do you think about Adam Kokesh?" What do you think? I think about Adam Kokesh. You really think that I like? Geez. And we should laugh. We should be able to laugh at ourselves and laugh at the so-called alternative media circus. And it is an alternative media circus. Somebody put on some music, maestro. Hillary for president. Hillary for president. Banger in the print. No, dude, I'm not for Hillary. But what's all this? Let's. Oh, the New World Order put a woman in charge. Yeah, that's what they always do. That's what they always do. Yeah. Yeah, they may social engineer. And we may be seeing this gender warfare, but the women aren't really in charge of the New World Order. Sorry. Try again. Try again. But do they use feminism or neo feminism? Shout out to the MGTOW people that found me. Thank you, Sam. Man, mix a lot of different topics. It's going to be a good buffet tonight. See, no, we don't want to see any World War III scenario in our backyard, but we need to be prepared. We need to be prepared. Are you prepared to go through this winter being stuck in your house? Think about that tonight. I'm not kidding. Do you have enough water for 1 month? Do you have enough food for 1 month? It's unrealistic to expect you to get more than a certain amount because you may only have a certain amount of space. But I try to keep that rule of thumb now, right? As we go through this, enough fuel, enough water, okay, enough food, and I need to expand my vegetarian non-meat options. I have so much more to learn. Right now, I'm just running on empty, running on coffee. Did get some ground lamb at the store the other day. Yeah, we ought to be thinking though, as because we got to be able to step back from the propaganda. We got to be able to step back from the alternative mainstream media to fight, fight, fight. Yeah, get him, 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 get him. No, no, no. Facepalm. Talk to the hand. Oh no, you don't. We need to be able to step back from this kookiness. Da, 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 da. The establishment hates Trump. Yeah, I'll tell you who else the establishment hates. Alex Jones. Yeah, the establishment hates Alex Jones. It's like everywhere you look, it's another article. It's another article. And people go, media hating on Alex Jones. Alex Jones, a hero. Listen, I'm a recovered Alex Jones listener. Don't even give me that hero nonsense. Already been through it. You need to learn about COINTELPRO. You need to learn about how someone can do good for a long, long time to build up millions of followers. Yeah. Sorry, that's a little too deep. That's right. Alex Jones. Alex Jones! Undefeated. That's right. Yeah. She's just like, no, dude, no, not with the Hogan thing. Whoa. Are you tamping around with some human growth hormone up your as well? And, shout out Kelly Jones. Listen, don't hate on a woman just because she married a man. Some women go for a guy who, until it gets a little dangerous at some point. You're like, whoa. I mean, I thought you're a little cowboyish, but you're straight up insane. And you can't keep sleeping with that. You can't keep sleeping with that. Alex Jones, from what I understand from the Kelly Jones videos, I believe it's Split City, the YouTube channel, he is aiming to destroy this woman's life and all that money, alimony or whatever, settlement, all being used up by the courts, and some sort of judge order that she has to pay Alex's attorney costs. He's got like 5 attorneys. Just look at these people in their relationships. They may talk about God. And I think Alex Jones is a really good example. He is a good example. We haven't talked about him in a while. We haven't talked about him in a while. I don't want things to get really dark and scary. But if you haven't seen Satan Speaks, the documentary that he officially didn't finish, but he made a trailer for, well, the rest of the Alex Jones saga, when he, what's the analogy? When he kneeled before the sword. When he kneeled before the sword. When he was brought in. And see, he knew what it was. He knew what he was doing in 2000 during Y2K. In that modern War of the Worlds broadcast. Shout out to the late William Cooper. Which reminds me, I uploaded a video of William Cooper and Anthony Hilder discussing the coming race war back in the early 90s. People don't warn like these men today. Some people forgot. Some people forgot. Anthony Hilder, who I've met, I remember doing a show with him about 9/11 in 2005 at Portland Cable Access. And there he is now, just like with the Alex Jones crowd, everybody else thinking that Trump's the anti-New World Order guy. Like, whoa, these are all these people that I've known in my life. And like, we're like totally like, it's not that I'm with Clinton. It's that I'm not humping any Trump. It's that we can see through these lies and illusions. And they go, Trump lied, Trump flip-flop. No, Trump straight up telegraphed exactly how he was going to F our world up. It was straight up insane in the membrane, right out of go. You know, it was just straight up gonna grab that ass, and you're gonna like it. Oh yeah, you're gonna like it. And it was getting really deliverance on us for a while, and it still is. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of craziness online. I don't see Clinton stickers or bumper stickers hardly at all. Oh, there are those people that are running around with the Trump stickers now. Some of these people are just looking for conflict. From Antifa to Trump supporters, just leave it alone. These politicians aren't doing anything for you on the left or the right. I mean, there are so many issues I can get into that you're not hearing about from Donald Trump. That's why I thought it was weird to like come across like off-gridders and rural American folk that are like buying the Trump Kool-Aid because the land underneath our feet literally is probably being sold because all this process started years ago with Obama and the plan to sell off U.S. assets. The land under our feet, you know where it begins on a larger scale as this economy continues to implode? Watch national parks, national monuments. Drop some links down below. All welcome. All welcome. Let us know what's going on. Okay. So Trump's going to make these moves. Trump's going to make these moves as we start watching to sell off critical U.S. assets. Did I call it? Or did I call it? In that 2013 solar flare presentation where I put up the slides and talked about critical U.S. assets being sold off. Of course, you don't have to be a crystal ball reader to see the obvious But you got to be under a spell to think things have changed because Trump was elected. Why criticize Obama people to then do the same thing? Why not be critical of the system in general and never compromising? Why not? Why can't we just reach a critical mass? Because consciousness is falling. And the sooner people figure that out, the sooner maybe we can get out of this matrix. Because a lot of people are under a spell. They don't even know what wake up is. For a while, hey, oh man, we're just sharing some massive info on Crackbook. And people for years just be cracking away. We just be cracking away, yo. How our relationships fall apart, all this unnecessary information being shared on social media, all these terrifying articles, all this fake news, all this special interest, Facebook taking the money, and boom, boom, algorithm, Islamic invasion coming to get ya, white people coming to get ya, black people, hey, coming to get ya. Any of you that might look Persian or Arabic, look at this horrifying story. Yeah, it's lunchtime, and it's just like, oh my God, it is Night of the Living Dead, and people are acting like they didn't see this on Facebook. Well, certainly people like myself that may be reaching a lot of people are algorithms. Hey, target that person. Send that person a lot of screw with their feed. Screw with his feed. Put a bunch of this in there. Oh, that'll drive them nuts. Oh, and you know what else? Every time they post, we'll make sure nobody sees their post. And then it's like, oh, I'm thinking just nobody likes it. And then it's like, whoa, these Facebook is just now announcing this week that people that have worked for years building up their pages, their news pages. By the way, remember, like facebook.com/alexansary.tv. Might as well experience just the party happening over there with an average of 1 like per video. See, all you guys are here liking on, nothing's going on the Facebook side. And there are people, like hundreds of people that like the page, they don't see the post. Now, I'm not that worried about it. 700, 800 people like the page. But you think about people that have actually built businesses, and I was critical of someone else in a recent video, but I like the guy too. The fact that he did build up his base and his audience. And it's sad to see what's happening to him. Okay, can't talk about Jesus anymore on YouTube. Can't talk about this is controversial, that's controversial, that's controversial, that's controversial. It's just these alternative media people need to wake the frock up and stop acting like, oh, it's me because I'm white and I'm a conservative and I voted for Donald Trump. Well, guess what? There are people that are black that have lost their AdSense. There are people that talk about the victims of war being killed in the Middle East, and those videos get demonetized. The victimhood consciousness, oh, it's just happening to this group, takes us away from what's happening to all of us, especially as Americans. When it comes down to it, it doesn't matter whether you're white, black, da 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 da. When this economy really cracks and people need to eat, there might be some preferences. There's some racial games being played. When it comes down to it, they're set up a situation where they are going to pull the plug. I didn't mean Muslims when I said that. I see no evidence for Muslims behind the economic collapse. You see? But they can certainly make an economic collapse while having false flags going off everywhere. Everywhere. Got to put them in the camps. Oh, yeah, that's right. Let's just completely destroy America now and just invite China and Russia up in our grill in the UN. That isn't going to allow that. No way. That's why hell's being planned for America. And you've been warned. Other people have been warned. I'm done warning the Portlanders. Hell is being planned for America. And you should be prepared to be at home for more than a few weeks at a time. You should also be prepared to bug out. Oh, yeah, this is a time to pray to the Creator. It's a time to wake up. It's a time to read Scripture. But it's a time to mean it and believe it and know it, or know your truth. I got various books. I haven't read them all. I believe one day there ain't going to be nothing but me in those books. None of this going on, you and me hanging out. Hey, doing a video here with LED lights. Yeah, moving up in the world. Moving on up to the east side. Maybe I'm south. Coming straight out of Compton. Straight out of Portland. Of course you're going to get this. Have you seen Portlanders? At least I've been able to put, together sentences and whatnot. But yeah, we have some LED lights, battery powered tonight. We are not using the other lights. So it's a good time. No major disturbances. Shifting gears, pros and cons of living off the grid. Again, mashup, jumping from topic to topic. Let's see if you can stick with me. So Living off the grid in this area sometimes can be quite loud, and then sometimes it's very quiet. So it has its ups and its lows. Sometimes it's warm, sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's just right. Put it to you this way: nature can heal, trees can heal, people also go insane. That's right. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that may hear my controversial views that may have thought that I've gone insane since living off the grid and stepping back from like a mainstream normal, right? Normal lifestyle. Hi, I'm Alex. Welcome to Olive Garden. Are you enjoying your dinner? That's fantastic. Hey, we have this bottle over here of Pellegrino. That's right. We're selling it for $5. Would you like to buy? No, I got stories. I've got stories from the old school. There was Ruth Chris, especially. Talk about peer pressure. It's like, dude, talking to that dude that looked like Slender Man. It was like, my new boss. You're my new boss. As halfway into my 5 years of working at Ruth Chris Steakhouse, slowly slid into the dark ages by 2007, 2008. We were in a full blown like fascism. No. I'm not kidding. Like we went from Bush that supposedly was like the really dark ages to Obama. And so it was like, oh, Obama's better than Bush. But when we went from Bush to Obama at my work, it went straight, it went straight fascist all the straight up way. And I don't necessarily mean like overt white supremacy. Although I definitely had that view in general of Ruth's Chris Steakhouse as a company. When they had the New Orleans thing, no black people in a fundraising poster trying to get people to pay $1,000 for a steak dinner. It just showed like a businessman, a white guy, which is fine, but there was plenty of blacks that were displaced and abused in New Orleans, and that can't be taken away. So I always noticed that. I noticed the racial preferences as well as size, taller people, and I never held that against them per se, but they definitely made an effort, and maybe there was fear, right? Because I was known in Portland for having a TV show that it could be bad for business, and there's a few other issues. I'm having flashbacks. So Slender Man, Slender Man walks in one day and he literally gets a memo from the New World Order, and they're like, "Put more fluoride in the water and make Alex do it. Make Alex do it." Not quite, but close. They did make because, and I'm walking over in a penguin outfit. I'm sure you've seen the four-star restaurant, so they got the gig. Hi, how are you? Fantastic. We have. Remember your lines, Alex. Don't forget. Don't look nervous. Just be natural. We have these don't and remember, try to sell it to him, but don't tell him the price. Get him to and then just put it on the table. And then charge him. And that was the plan. Would you like some sparkling water, Pellegrino? And people would be like, no, go away. And see, like what Slender Man, who was having sex with an underage minor, by the way, that's right, the very guy that had me fire him. Third right up. He put down the tray too loud. That was literally a final straw for me. A tray was sat down. What do we, I was meant to be free. Free as a bird. Free as a bird now. Near, 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 near. It's not near, 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 near. That video, Beyond the Fear of Living Without Money, initial thoughts towards living off the grid. Also seeing off the grid life from the Mesa, not something that was glamorous to me, a little scary, kind of makes off the grid living look bad, just south of Costia and the Taos area. But the seeds were planted. The seeds were planted. Was involved briefly with survivalcenter.com, helped open a Portland survival store. I was thinking off grid in the future, even the potential of events happening within Portland and my store being a conduit for decent people. Did I say my store? That's right. I made a longer video discussing how I was duped by two of Romptha students. And I might as well talk about it now because I chose, like, literally, man, I got the boogies. What do you call it? The ibby jibbies? I've been from like having weird stuff happen after doing that video about Teal Swan, and then doing some other videos. There are just weird stuff that I've been dealing with, so you got to be careful with some of that stuff. We got to keep on the positive. That's why I try to put out a lot of videos, putting out what I believe, what I resonate with to be the truth. The purpose of that video exposing the archonic influence of the spiritual communities, check it out if you haven't already, is about highlighting the problem that we have in our world, that a lot of people are following these spiritual teachers that are not good people. They're setting bad examples. They tell their followers they're followers. That's right, they're followers. They're cult members. Some pretty horrific things. In the case of Teal, that suicide really isn't a bad thing. And some of her followers, of course, these are people that gave her money, followed her advice and actually killed themselves. So on that level, it's kind of a fairly serious situation with people that don't know any better end up in the hands of people that encourage them to kill themselves. There's actually someone that messaged me earlier today, like, "Hey, Alex, I want to help you with this." He was telling me to kill myself, like on Christmas, like 3 or 4 years ago. There's a lot of energy vampires out there on the internet with split personality disorders, and it's not okay to do that to people. And it's not okay to cyber stalk. It's not okay to engage in certain actions. You can go ahead and say, "Do as thou wilt," all you want, and that there are no karmic consequences for doing horrible things or spreading propaganda, or selling counterfeit products or ripping people off. Getting back to my story, there are karmic consequences. That store never lasted because I left that store because they were price gougers. They were racist. They said some pretty hurt. Tal had this and that, not to me, but just in general, other things, other jokes that were inappropriate. But see, Michael Knight, who was connected with James Gillen, he literally made the documentary Contact Has Begun. I don't know if that's online. If it is, leave a link down below. This guy creeped me out. Type in Michael Knight, Alex Ansary into YouTube and check out this dude that I was having a positive moment with at that moment. But you literally pause, look at the eyes, pause, just like some of those other videos on YouTube that seem kind of crazy, right? I literally had an experience with what I believe was a very dark vibrational frequency businessman that really was feeding on my energy. I helped them build a business. I staffed it. I worked for free for multiple months. And when that dude started getting verbally abusive and physically up in my space and calling me a C word, I split. Okay, that was traumatic for me to leave Portland like that. I didn't leave right away and go straight to Dallas to deal with another weird business situation. I started living in the woods in a furnished powered cabin in Estacada. That was very hard for me walking away from that store. And it was very hard for me to walk away from a situation that I had promoted so much on my cable access show, in which dozens of people that I never met, never made friends with, were coming to say hi. "Hey, Alex, I'm going to buy this at its market price. You look right at me just to support you, dude. I'm just letting you know. That's why I'm spending this extra dollars on this marked up MRE, because they marked up their crap. And they didn't care. And I said, I got friends coming in. They're looking for Dutch ovens. They want to order stuff. Can we hook them up at a good deal? No, we don't need your friends here unless they're buying a lot of stuff. 6-month food supply over here. There are other people that do that. Nothing wrong buying food, selling food supply. Don't rip people off and lie to them. I hate that crap. This is 6 months, bro. This is 1 year, bro. Yeah, why is it this much money? What's in it? It's half rice, half man, dude. Get the. You need. Oh, as I said earlier, have a month of food, have a month of water, have a month of fuel, and I'm setting an example. I'm an alternative media guy. I've been warning about World War III, and I think there'll be an invasion in our lifetime. I don't think America's prepared for it. I see Trump as an agent of the New World Order. They're going to allow China and Russia to walk into our country. They're going to start a war more than likely. I'm not doing this prophecy thing. I've been talking like this since before Trump got on the scene. And I got to echo, right, my own warnings from the past, because this is real. People spend a lot of time on Pizzagate, but not on the real people, others, because there are some fake stories and real stories breaking right now. There's stories about law enforcement people caught up in the pedo industry. But think about it larger when they start trafficking Americans during the collapse and using foreign armies. Americans aren't even ready for the white slavery and what someone could call an actual white genocide, where white women are targeted and their husbands are targeted. That's why it's really sick that innocent minorities are being targeted by some whites that are angry. There's a real threat analysis that I have for the viewing audience, and I see a danger coming to California, Southern California, Portland, Oregon, Seattle. And I've been warning, right, for a number of years, and I've documented that. And now it's become a regular conversation when it wasn't a regular conversation when I started warning the West Coast. So I think there's going to be an attack on the West Coast and a pouring in of troops, and women without protectors that aren't safe areas will be captured and put into it. It's not about horny Chinese men that don't have a wife. You don't know where they're going or where they're going to be taken. I don't want to go there. I can tell you this. Was there the Thor movie coming out? Man, they are really hitting us with the Nephilim stuff. Nephilim, returning giants. It's in these movies. They are bringing out this fallen god meme. They've been doing it for some time. Hell, some people don't even agree on wait, is it Inky or Enlil that's the bad guy? Then I have Robert Stanley. Have you ever heard me talk to Robert Stanley about the Archons? Check it out. It's on this channel. You also learn about some of the stuff that I've dealt with in this lifetime, some things that I've dealt um, with regards to speaking about the Archons and dealing with backlash, dealing with strange things. For those that don't know, Archon, shout out to Dustin or Dan if you're watching. Um, so it's more than what I can explain because I don't have all the answers. What I do believe is that it's in our soul's memory. For some of us, especially many that are alive today, to expose what they are doing. For some reason, we feel, myself included, I'm speaking for others that aren't here, but that are on YouTube, that we can see their agenda. We don't fully know why. Some people have never asked themselves. I have. Why does our soul seem to have a memory where it's like, oh, we recognize this? This is their energy signature. And also think about those videos on YouTube that came out when people first started getting into this stuff about the all-seeing eye. Open your mind. Open your mind. Dun, 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 dun. There's actually that song "Open Your Mind" to like all these symbols and watching something last night, which really got me thinking about the medical symbol and the helix and the reptilian thing, along with all the other stuff you've heard from David Icke and the ancient world of the serpent and the idea of different bloodlines breaking off out of the alleged Atlantis and some of these later empires having wars with each other, competitions with each other, but using similar means to control the populations and bearing particular symbols from the ancient world. And they're, from the pyramid to the cube for some, sometimes numerology. And then, of course, you have the arena that some people in the conspiracy world don't understand. How can a number be evil? A number can be used to manipulate energy, though, or certain things like, for example, 11 or 13. Certain superstitions have basically been brought into our world. And, it's actually a very difficult thing to really explain now how much disinformation there is. And there's disinformation on top of disinformation. That's right. That's right. There's disinformation that there is no fake news. The only fake news that's out there is anything critical of Donald Trump. Um, Actually, I mean, this is bigger than Donald Trump. This is what people need to understand. This is my opinion. They've brought out the Russian interference issue to control the internet. They in no way are stopping the problem. The problem being defined as I'm a pioneer in bringing this up, manufacturing fake news and threats, using social media to make sure that certain articles posted by fake profiles have a viral traction. I was doing videos on this YouTube channel, in some cases, showing fake profiles, posting fake news about fake Islamic invasions. Of course, we have crime happening everywhere to a certain degree, but I mean like overt disinformation from certain websites that only post fake news, like Focus US and others that are well known. It's like Facebook is promoting this, and I'm like, does anybody see this? This can't just be me. I started posting about it, posting about it, posting about it, and it seems that some people have also seen it, right? but there isn't really like an investigation that's ever really been done, really been brought out in the open, even in the media. They use it for their weird political crusade, whatever they're doing with this, and it's aiming for a clampdown on the internet. Look, there's many websites out there that are websites. That's pretty cool. I got like no light in here, and I can get this close and focus on my thought. You have left leaning websites like Alternet, which put out nothing but critical information or posts about or news about disinformation about Donald Trump. Disinformation artist Donald Trump. Yeah, you got to bring up the 9/11 investigation. Yeah, that's wow. I mean, just and I don't ever do that as a gesture. But I mean, you want to talk about like a wild goose chase and all those alternative media whores that actually made such suggestions. Wow, just wow. You be some dumb mofos. But again, I'm not speaking to my general audience. Uh yeah, yeah. So much stuff. So much stuff. But yeah, living here off the grid, it is nice. Things are calming down. And I'm gonna close with this and come back with more. We gotta start recentering on the truth and pulling out of this disinformation. I was making a point about the Russian interference. That's right. That's right. So we have now is a censorship in place where people post on Facebook, I mentioned earlier, news, and they're just not reaching people. So in the old days, people would be like, Alex, they're going to kill you one day. People would literally say this. It was meant to be a compliment. And really, all they really need to do is just start erasing people off the internet, making it so they're it doesn't matter if you have 13,000 subscribers, as I do on YouTube. Only a certain amount of that 13,000 is even going to see that I just uploaded a video. By the way, go to subscribe, click the bell, and be notified of all new videos. So I'm going to conclude it here. We got to find a way to persevere. Is this the end? As the Doors, as Jim Morrison asks us, or states, this is the end, beautiful friend. This is the end. We're going to ask ourselves, is the end or a beginning? It's definitely the beginning of something new, and we're going to have to adjust to these changes. I'll be back with more.